Abortion has for long been a polarizing subject across ethical and religious lines. At the center of this debate is the law that some say makes abortion illegal, while other quarters prefer referring to the law as just restrictive. In Article 22, Clause 2 of the Constitution, no person has the right to terminate the life of an unborn child except as may be authorized by the law. The supreme law in the land, however, does not provide the law under which abortions can be done. Talk to any legal mind, and they will point to the Penal Code Act, Section 141, 142, and 143, which spell out the criminal liability. Under Section 141 of the Penal Code, for example, any person who with intent to procure the miscarriage of a woman, whether she is or not with a child, unlawfully administers to her or causes her to take any poison or other noxious things, or uses any force of any kind, or use any other means, commits a felony and is liable to imprisonment for 14 years. But Moses Mulumba, a human rights lawyer, says the Penal Code Act provides for a safety valve under which abortions can be carried out.
The same penal code, when it gets to section 224, it actually gives a leeway for a doctor who is skilled by providing that anyone who actually carries out a surgical operation on an unborn child, as long as they have used the skill and they have done it reasonably and they have taken into account the state of the mother to either save the life of the mother, right, or any other reasonings, then those people cannot be held criminally liable.
Mulumba argues that the ambiguities in Section 224 of the Penal Code Act, which only permits an abortion if it's done in good faith or to preserve the life of the mother, creates a gray area which needs to be looked into.
Now, what the Penal Code simply states is the state of the patient. Now, the state of the patient can be widely interpreted. It can be the physical state of the patient, whereby the patient probably has health challenges and they cannot hold the pregnancy, but it can also be the psychological state of the patient. And the psychological state of the patient these days varies. You have a 12-year-old kid who has been defiled, all right, or who has been raped, she's pregnant. So can we, in those circumstances, for instance, say that we take into account the state of that kid?
According to Mulumba, the law lacks clarity on what is meant by the life of the mother being endangered. The Ministry of Health has come up with guidelines that can guide doctors to carry out abortions within the ambits of the law. These include when the baby's chances of survival are minimal even after birth, or when the pregnancy can affect the health of the mother. But these guidelines do not include victims of rape and defilement.
These guidelines are guidelines for the ministry, and they cannot be interpreted as the law that is actually anticipated by the Constitution. Now, the Minister of Health needs the help of the Minister of Justice, the Law Reform Commission, the Parliament, and other stakeholders to actually give the legal value to the guidelines, such that the circumstances anticipated of termination of pregnancy can actually be interpreted as law.
Despite these legal arguments which portray the complexities over the veritable subject of abortion, many lawmakers say that the law should not be amended.
No human being has the right to terminate another life, because the power to give life is not in the hands of men, it is in the hands of God.
Abortion is immoral. It leads to murder. This is provided for in the Bible and in the Quran.
Because why should you kill a child? You may do it at night. If you don't die because of sepsis after abortion and using criminal methods, you may go to hospital and they evacuate you and you become better. But how will you answer some questions in front of your Lord?
Some even propose that the law should be tightened.
It should be tightened more. Nobody should be allowed to abort because abortion is criminal. It is murder.
It should be tightened more because terminating the unborn child is actually illegal and religiously it is not acceptable.
Saropendi, the primary healthcare minister, says reviewing the law could save lives.
Will not achieve the MDG target 5, that is to reduce the maternal mortality to the 131 that we committed ourselves to if we don't address this. Because abortion is the third killer of the mothers in this country.
She shares these sentiments with the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Asumani Lukwago.
If you asked me that, do you think abortion should be legalized, I would say yes, because I'm a scientist. And I have dealt with people who have died because of illegal abortions.
As this debate over the law rages on, statistics indicate that the contribution of unsafe abortions to maternal mortality stands at 26%. In the final episode of Abortion, A Woman's Right or Murder, we shed the light on the economic strain of abortions on the healthcare system in Uganda. Solomon Serwanjja, NTV.